Grand jury. Footnote 675. Footnote 675. Grand jury. The grand jury mentioned by M.N. Agalarov was Natalia Veselnitskaya. Footnote 676. Footnote 676. In December 2018, a grand jury in the Southern District of New York returned an indictment charging Veselnitskaya with obstructing the Preveznon litigation discussed in the text above. See Indictment, United States versus Natalia Vladimirovna Veselnitskaya, number 18 CR 904 SDNY. The indictment alleges, among other things, that Veselnitskaya lied to the district court about her relationship to the Russian prosecutor general's office and her involvement in responding to a U.S. document request sent to the Russian government. From approximately 1998 until 2001, Veselnitskaya worked as a prosecutor for the Central Administrative District of the Russian Prosecutor's Office. Footnote 677. Footnote 677. Veselnitskaya, 11/2017, statement to the Senate Committee on the Judiciary at 2. Grand jury. And she continued to perform government-related work and maintain ties to the Russian government following her departure. Footnote 678. Footnote 678. Testimony of the Natalia Veselnitskaya before the Senate Committee on Judiciary, November 20th, 2017, at 33. Keir Simmons and Rachel Elbaum, Russian lawyer Veselnitskaya, says she didn't give Trump Jr. info on Clinton, NBC News, July 11, 2017. Maria Svetkova and Jack Stubbs, Moscow lawyer who met Trump Jr., had Russian spy agency as client. Reuters, July 21, 2017. Andrew E. Kramer and Sharon Lafreniere, lawyer who was said to have dirt on Clinton, had closer ties to Kremlin than she let on. New York Times, April 27, 2018. She lobbied and testified about the Magnitsky Act, which imposed financial sanctions and travel restrictions on Russian officials, and which was named for a Russian tax specialist who exposed a fraud and later died in a Russian prison. Footnote 679. Footnote 679. See Pub L number 112 to 208, 402, 404 AL 126 stat 1502, 1502 to 1506. Sergei Magnitsky was a Russian tax specialist who worked for William Browder, a former investment fund manager in Russia. Browder hired Magnitsky to investigate tax fraud by Russian officials, and Magnitsky was charged with helping Browder embezzle money. After Magnitsky died in a Russian prison, Browder lobbied Congress to pass the Magnitsky Act. See E.g. Andrew E. Kramer, turning tables in Magnitsky case. Russia accuses nemesis of murder. New York Times, October 22nd, 2017. Testimony of Natalia Veselnitskaya before the Senate Committee on Judiciary, November 20th, 2017. Exhibits 1 through 4, Rosie Gray. Bill Browder's testimony to the Senate Judiciary Committee, The Atlantic, July 25th, 2017. Putin called the statute a, quote, purely political, unfriendly act, unquote, and Russia responded by barring a list of current and former U.S. officials from entering Russia and by halting the adoption of Russian children by U.S. citizens. Footnote 680. Footnote 680. Ellen Berry, Russia bars 18 Americans after sanctions by U.S. New York Times, April 13th, 2013. Tom Porter, supporters of the Magnitsky Act claim they've been targets of Russia assassination and kidnapping bids. Newsweek, July 16, 2017. Veselnitskaya performed legal work for Denis Katsviv. Footnote 681. Footnote 681. Testimony of Natalia Veselnitskaya before the Senate Committee on Judiciary, November 20th, 2017, at 21. the son of Russian businessman Peter Katsviv, and for his company Preveznon Holdings Limited, which was a defendant in a civil forfeiture action alleging the laundering of proceeds from the fraud exposed by Magnitsky. Footnote 682. Footnote 682. See Veselnitskaya, United States versus Preveznon Holding Limited, number 13 CV 6326 SDNY. See Preveznon Holding Second Amendment Complaint, Prevezon Holdings and Order, Prevezon Holdings Deposition of Oleg Lori. She also appears to have been involved in an April 2016 approach to a U.S. congressional delegation in Moscow offering, quote, confidential information for, quote, the Prosecutor General of Russia about, quote, interactions between certain political forces in our two countries. Footnote 683. Footnote 683. See Gribben 8/31/17, 302 at 1-2 and 1A, undated one-page document given to congressional delegation. The Russian Prosecutor General is an official with broad national responsibility in the Russian legal system. See Federal Law on the Prosecutor's Office of the Russian Federation, 1992, amended 2004. Shortly after his June 3rd call with Emin Agalarov, Goldstone emailed Trump Jr. Footnote 684. Footnote 684. RG 0000616316 email Goldstone to Trump Jr. DJTJR 00446 6316 email Goldstone to Donald Trump Jr. at Donald J. Trump Jr. 7/11/17 tweet. The email stated, "Good morning. Emin just called and asked me to contact you with something very interesting. The Crown Prosecutor of Russia met with his father, Aris, this morning, and their meeting offered to provide the Trump campaign with some official documents and information that would incriminate Hillary and her dealings with Russia and would be very useful to your father. This is obviously very high-level and sensitive information, but is part of Russia and its government support for Mr. Trump, helped along by Aris and Emin. What do you think is the best way to handle this information, and would you be able to speak to Emin about it directly? I can also send this info to your father via Rona, but it is ultra sensitive, so wanted to send to you first. Best, Rob Goldstone." Within minutes of this email, Trump Jr. responded, emailing back, quote, "Thanks, Rob, I appreciate that. I am on the road at the moment, but perhaps I just speak to Emin first. Seems like we have some time, and if it's what you say, I love it, especially later in the summer. Could we do a call first thing next week when I am back?" Footnote 685. Footnote 685. 6316 email Trump Jr. to Goldstone at Donald Trump Jr. 7/11/17 tweet. 6316 email Trump Jr. to Goldstone. Goldstone conveyed Trump Jr.'s interest to Emin Agalarov, emailing that Trump Jr., quote, "wants to speak personally on the issue." Footnote 686. Footnote 686. Grand jury. 6316 email Goldstone and Trump Jr. On June 6, 2016, Emin Agalarov asked Goldstone if there was, quote, "any news," and Goldstone explained that Trump Jr. was likely still traveling for the, quote, "final elections where Trump will be crowned the official nominee." Footnote 687. Footnote 687, 6616 email A. Agalarov to Goldstone, 6616 email Goldstone to A. Agalarov. On the same day, Goldstone again emailed Trump Jr. and asked when Trump Jr. was, quote, free to talk with Emin about this Hillary info. Footnote 688. Footnote 688, 616 email Goldstone to Trump Jr. 6616 email Goldstone to Trump Jr. Trump Jr. asked if they could, quote, speak now, and Goldstone arranged a call between Trump Jr. and Emin Agalarov. Footnote 689. Footnote 689, 6616 email Goldstone and Trump Jr. 6616 email Goldstone and Trump Jr. quote, grand jury. On June 6 and June 7, Trump Jr. and Emin Agalarov had multiple brief calls. Footnote 690. Footnote 690, call records of Donald Trump Jr., grand jury. Call records of Donald Trump Jr., grand jury. Also on June 6, 2016, R.S. Agalarov called Ike Cavallands and asked him to attend a meeting in New York with the Trump Organization. Footnote 691. Footnote 691, Cavallands, 11/16/17, grand jury. Cavallands is a Georgian-born, naturalized U.S. citizen who worked in the United States for Crocus Group and reported to R.S. Agalarov. Footnote 692. Footnote 692. Cavallands, 11/16/17, grand jury. Grand jury. Cavallands told the office that in a second phone call on June 6, 2016, Aris Agalarov asked Cavallands if he knew anything about the Magnitsky Act, and Aris sent him a short synopsis for the meeting and Veselnitskaya's business card. According to Cavallands, Aris Agalarov said the purpose of the meeting was to discuss the Magnitsky Act, and he asked Cavallands to translate. Footnote 693. Footnote 693, Cavallands, 11/16/17, 302 2. Awareness of the meeting within the campaign. On June 7, Goldstone emailed Trump Jr. and said that, quote, Emin asked that I schedule a meeting with you and the Russian government attorney who is flying over from Moscow, end quote. Footnote 694. Footnote 694, 6716 email Goldstone to Trump Jr. at Donald Trump Jr. 7/11/17 tweet 6716 email Goldstone to Trump Jr. grand jury. Trump Jr. replied that Manafort identified as the, quote, campaign boss, Jared Kushner, and Trump Jr. would likely attend. Footnote 695. Footnote 695, 6716 email Trump Jr. to Goldstone at Donald Trump Jr. 7/11/17 tweet 6716 email Donald Trump Jr. to Goldstone 6716 email Goldstone to Cavallands grand jury. Goldstone was surprised to learn that Trump Jr., Manafort, and Kushner would attend. Footnote 696. Footnote 696, Goldstone 2/18/302 at 7, grand jury. Cavallands, grand jury, quote, puzzled by the list of attendees and that he checked with one of Emin Agalarov's assistants, Roman Benyaminov, who said that the purpose of the meeting was for Veselnitskaya to convey, quote, negative information on Hillary Clinton, end quote. Footnote 697. Footnote 697, grand jury. C. Cavallands, 11/16/17, 302 at 7. 6716 email Goldstone to Cavallands. Benyaminov, however, stated that he did not recall having known or said that. Footnote 698. Footnote 698. Benyaminov, 1/6/18/302 at 3. Early on June 8, 2016, Kushner emailed his assistant asking her to discuss at 3 p.m.